Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John, and thank you for watching. And if you like this kind of content, then hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, or even a recommendation. In the early to mid 1970s, there was a kind of an explosion of a particular music and dance scene that was happening called Northern Soul. And it was American music, often old American music, coming over to clubs in the United Kingdom and people just dancing to it. And that was the aim, just to go and dance to great music. One of the absolute classics of that time was a song from 1966 by an American artist known as Dobie Gray. And this song is called Out on the Floor. Okay, now what somebody's done is they've taken part of a documentary about Northern Soul and they've cut it with this song, which I think is really good. So the footage is not genuine, it's a recreation, a modern recreation of what it was like. And I think it gives a fairly good account of the dancing, the outfits that people were wearing. But one thing it doesn't portray is everyone seems to have a bit of space, which did happen at times, but generally it was a bit more compressed, shall we say. The film that's been used is on a little bit of a loop, so it kind of repeats itself. Dobie Gray was an American singer-songwriter, and he had a little bit of success in the US. Probably his most famous hit was Drift Away, which came much later. Now, he came from that classic kind of, Baptist gospel background. I think his grandfather was a Baptist minister. Grew up in Texas. Moved to Los Angeles, tried to make his name as an actor, but actually started to make money and survive, I guess, whilst trying to get parts as a singer. And he sung in all sorts of genres, really, pop, gospel, country, that kind of thing. He did get some parts. He was in Hair in Los Angeles for a couple of years. But this was one of his great kind of dance and Northern Soul classics in the UK. I've talked about Northern Soul before in a couple of videos. I did one on Frankie Valli and the Night, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and the song called The Night, and which was an original kind of Northern Soul classic. And then there was a modern take on Northern Soul by a Welsh artist by the name of Duffy. And she did a song called Mercy, and I've also covered that. And also talked a little bit more about the Northern Soul scene.
Everybody here, don't you know what I mean? It makes me wanna move. It makes me feel like groove. I watch me twist and shout. Say you're working on out. When I feel like me, I gotta move my feet. Out on the floor tonight, I feel like singing. The beat is hot and bright, guitars are ringing. The chicks are out of sight, and everything's swinging. Yeah, the room is packed up tight, line at the door. Oh, yeah, so I get my kicks out on the floor. I want some more. I know you feel like me. I watch you twist and shout. So you're working on
So there were some credits there at the end to the people who put that together with that sort of film. And there are various documentaries on Northern Soul on YouTube. I think one thing I would say about the whole scene, a few things really. It was mainly American music coming over, often music that had been disregarded in America, but had this 4 on the floor beat to dance to. Dancing was the most important thing. It wasn't about, I don't know, alcohol or anything. I guess there were simpler times, but it was about the dancing. And it was fun. I think it was a great escape from them, from whatever they were doing during the week, because it was usually at the weekends. And it was just fun. And people liked to dance, men and women alike. There were no gender gaps with dancing in the Northern Soul scene. Now, again, with a lot of these things, people like to, I guess, relive what they did because it was such a fun time. And this is from, I think, about 2018 in a town in the north of England called Blackpool. And I just want to play some of it, really, just to show.
the room is packed up tight, line at the door. Yeah, yeah, so I get my kicks out on the floor. Yeah, baby's out of sight. When I'm out on the floor, it makes me feel like a king. Everybody here, don't you know what I mean? Yeah. It makes me wanna move. It makes me feel like groove.
So there's a lot of people there at an outdoor event remembering this great song by Dobie Gray. And one of the things that struck me as well, I guess, and there was a chap in blue there, and there's the lady just on the right in the white t-shirt, the kind of polo shirts that were very popular, and the kind of baggy trousers that people wore, very wide trousers, I guess, which made it a lot easier for kind of dancing, and they were often quite high up on the waist. It was the best of times in many ways, to quote a famous author, or part of a quote anyway. And it's a great, great song. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, consider leaving a like, subscribe as you feel appropriate. Dobie Gray, Out on the Floor, a Northern Soul classic. Thank you so much for watching.